Marlo needs a peach. Let's get into this. Episode opens up with Kenya and Phaedra going shopping for this glamping trip. But first of all, before we get into that, Kenya, them pants, sis, if you got to pick them out your coochie, they too small for you. Of course, the subject of Porsha comes up, and Kenya is again trying to make it seem like there's something wrong with her, and that just really, really bothers me because there's actually people who have anger issues and problems with them. And then there are people who react to being bullied and being provoked by people. Some people may react by punching you dead in the face. Another person might react by becoming a serial killer, and killing somebody who you remind them of. Another person may have a reaction where they won't say anything. They'll go into a depression and they'll probably kill themselves. Another person will spend their entire lives trying to ruin and destroy you because you continue to pick on them. And then another person may not even deal with it at all, and their actions and issues comes out in a different way. Either way, I don't think that Porsha has an anger management problem. I think she's dealing with a grown bully on a TV show that she can't really handle like she wants to because it will jeopardize her check. So while the ladies are having this conversation about Porsha, we get scenes of Porsha being in her anger management class or session with her, I don't know, her anger management therapist, whatever that dude is. But I like this conversation because I think that he confirmed a lot of things that I said and a lot of things that the viewers have been saying, is that Porsha is being bullied by Kenya. And however, I don't like the advice that he gave her. I feel like that the advice that he gave her was per producer persuasion, because I don't think that an anger management therapist would say, hey, why don't you go on a girls' camping trip with your bully so you can test how you react and then bring your sister to protect you. I feel like a therapist that does not have cameras there or proper producers breathing over his shoulders might say, hey, why don't you stay out of places where close proximity with this person if you know that they are known to provoke you to violence? You know what I mean? That's just me. I just felt like I was just like, dude, no, you're only saying that by producer persuasion. Don't blame me, Carlos. During the session, Porsha talks about the issues that she's having with Kandi, and she's just like, I feel like this is coming out of nowhere, but I also feel like there's some issues that she's had with me for a very long time, and they're starting to come up and come out because her reaction to just anything that I say or do is just so over the top. I totally agree with Porsha. I feel like there's something brewing with her and Kandi that now is just coming up. I feel like, and follow me here, I feel like we're going to get to the root of the issue later in the season, because if you watched the super trailer about a month or two ago, there is a scene in the super trailer where Porsha says that Kandi and Todd approached her for sex, for like a, not even a swapping thing. I think they wanted her to do like a threesome. Why'd I put up forefinger? A threesome. Fifth floor. So I feel like that's where that's coming from. I feel like maybe she rejected Kandi and that there's that bitterness building up because, Kandi was turned down. So I'm not sure if that's it, but Kandi is flipping out for me as a viewer, no reason. I haven't really seen anything between her and Porsha. I'm starting to, with the shady Bravo editors and the flashbacks, I'm starting to see what a lot of her issues are with Phaedra. Not enough for the reaction that she's given, but I'm starting to see it. But I'm just at this point have not seen anything between her and Porsha to warrant the type of anger that she spews at her when Porsha just breathes, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's that. I feel like she turned that orgy down and she's not happy about it. It's so crazy that Kandi has like this sex theme going on throughout the show. You know what I mean? I feel like this has been building up for a very long time, but I feel like now, I feel like Bravo is about to dig into her life. And I feel like the viewers are about to know some things about Kandi that a lot of us wish we didn't. And I think also a lot of things are going to be revealed that she doesn't want us to know as well. See, this is how this reality TV shows go. You put your life out there and you sign that contract and you say that you'll do this, and it is the producer's job to give us a good show. And this is what they're going to do at your own expense. Did you guys notice this? Because I had to rewind and I was just like, because I watched this on DVR. Because what I won't do is commercials. I can't, unless I'm in them. Then I'll do a commercial. But the therapist, he's saying like the last part of his advice to her. And I was like, what just happened? And how was that not addressed? He's talking to her, and then he goes, and you have to think about how you are going to deal with the scenario moving forward. What? Then Cynthia meets with Matt. Why? Why? Which one is it? Either Matt is this abusive guy, 2 drinks away from being a Renthal James Simpson, or he's this lovable, misunderstood, gentle giant. Which one is it? Is he a beast or is he a puppy? I can't figure it out, because if your friend is in an abusive relationship with a guy, why would you sit and meet with him so that you two could mend fence, so your friend and this dude can mend fences? I'll tell you who does that. A friend who knows that this is a storyline and she is trying to help this dude save his image before it goes down the gutter. Because nobody believes the storyline, but Matt keeps on playing into it that this just may be who he is from here on out. And I think that Cynthia is trying to save Matt. So this whole Cynthia sitting down to meet with Matt to try to mend fences between him and Kenya, I honestly think that this is Cynthia trying to help this dude out because she knows what's really going on. And Matt is too young and too naive to realize that he's being played for a check. Kandi is throwing a white engagement party for Shamia, Porsha's best friend. This confused me because, one, when did Kandi and Shamia become sisters? Because that's what she called Shamia. She was like, you're like my little sister. And I'm like, really? And why is Kandi inviting all of these people to her engagement party? Like, when Shamia arrived there, it was just like, she was like, what's going on? Like, she only knew a few people there. It was really weird. Like, why would you throw a party for me and invite all these people? You know what? It's probably just a normal entertainment industry thing, because I'm telling you, people out here have birthday parties and they have like guest lists, but it's you can invite everyone. I've been invited to so many celebrity parties, birthday parties of people I don't know, of celebrities that I don't know, but it's just like they want to fill this room up, and you have to call this person to put you on the RSVP list. I'm like, this is your birthday party. It's a celebration of life. Why do you want to have people there that you don't know? Why are you trying to fill up the room for accolades? It's because the money and fame is not enough to fill that God-sized hole. Jesus, fix it. I just said a word. I preached. Y'all can give me my tithes and offering later by liking, commenting, and subscribing and sharing. Kandi lets her know that Porsha didn't make it, and then Shamia starts crying. Am I a different kind of woman? Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand why she started crying because Porsha, who I guess, yes, is her best friend, wasn't at her white engagement party that she did not know about. So where are all these emotions just coming up from? She's just like, oh, I just wanted her to be here. And I'm like, this can't be normal for women relationships. It just cannot be the norm. And I just don't want to speak out of turn because I've never experienced that, but I come on. I just felt like she had a really strong emotion over something that was not, it was deep, but not that deep. So this leads me to believe that she's trying to audition to be on the show, because if you notice, before a woman is actually has a peach on this show, she auditions for a season. So I feel like this is Shamia auditioning, because those tears, I was just like, girl, who you playing? Like, I just didn't believe it. It just wasn't authentic to me. I felt like it was very forced. And then all the girls comfort her and, no, it's okay. And then they go up to the rooftop where they start to talk. And then Messy Sheree drops this little bit of tea that we all knew. But it was just like, this is Sheree's way of getting a higher pay next season. So I'm not hating. Get in where you fit in and get your money. This is how you got to play on these reality TV shows. I just feel like if you're going to drop the tea, drop it at a better opportunity. Like, this was her engagement party, and you're sitting up there saying that Phaedra was calling her a hoe and that she slept with everybody. I just felt like it was just poor taste and in bad timing. Because Sheree is messy, so she's going to drop the tea, but she just didn't have to drop it then. And then Shamia does this that I didn't like either. I was fine with her talking about how Apollo was making a pass because he seems like the type of sleazy guy. But then she says this thing about Phaedra that she's known to, made this gesture about her, oral. I was gonna say something else. Sucking a penis, okay? I was trying to find the right words. And I found some ratchet words that I can't use because my mom and aunts watch this. So you know what I mean. So she made that gesture that's what she does and that's what she's known around town for. And to that I say, so what? Who cares? The women on this show slut shame everything that walks by with the vagina. It is so disgusting and just like pot calling the kettle black. Like none of you heifers can wear white on your 10th or 11th wedding. So just be quiet. You all do it. Everything that Phaedra is known for doing, y'all have all done it to get a purse. So sit down and stop judging people. That really, really, really bothered me because they do it to each other all the time. They're constantly calling somebody a hoe, constantly saying somebody is a slut. And I'm just like, but you guys all do it. You all like do the same thing. So it's okay for you to do it. Just as long as you're getting a mansion or, a new pack of hair. But if Phaedra does it because she enjoys it, something's wrong with her and she's a hoe. Oh, you guys need to stop. Because, like, Shamia, because the receipts are about to be pulled about you. So what would you want people to say about you then? You can't do that. Stop it, women. In 2017, let's stop slut shaming each other and let's just be pro-ho, pro-absent, whatever. Pro-woman. How about that? In 2017 and beyond, the ladies of this nation and the universe, okay? We're going to be pro-woman. Because it's about time that we support each other and stop tearing each other down. Unless we're on a reality TV show that I love. Mia, sis, just a little, words of wisdom. You have to blend the bundles. You can't take it out the pack and just put it in your hair. You have to take the hair out. You probably got to, wash and condition, depending on where you get it from. Let it air dry. Then you have to, put some moisture in it and comb on through it. You know what I mean? And then put it in your hair and perfectly style it. You just can't take the bundles out and tack them in. Because what we saw on yesterday was you tacking in the bundle. You know what I mean? We are not supposed to see where your real hair starts and ends and where the bundles come in. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you look great. Just blend. That's all. Blend. Cynthia, Bailey, former Thomas. You better slay, honey. You slayed in that confessional. What I will say about Cynthia, she is not the smartest tool in the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm trying to shade somebody and I done got it wrong. She's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but mother can dress. She comes prepared. Everything is on point. In her confessional, her makeup, her hair, her outfit. Listen, take a note out of her book. And remember, Dorinda from Real Housewives of New York City, they slay. Cynthia is that is a model to me. Watch, you know what? Take notes, America's Next Top Model. Cynthia Bailey, formerly Thomas, is a model. She comes prepared every time. Has been nobody on this show that I have looked at their confessionals and it has made me stop. You know what I mean? Cynthia's confessionals always make me stop. I always pause it. I always try to Google what she has on. What is she using? That hair, everything. This is how you do it. Tanya pops up over Cynthia's place unannounced. Rude. Let me tell you something. If you don't know me, let me tell you a little something about me. What you won't do is pop up over my place unannounced. Especially, when I am betrothed and I have, I'm about to say something. Yeah. Forget it. I'm going to say a permanent ding-a-ling in my home. You know what I mean? You just can't be coming up over my house because I don't know if my man is clothed or whatever, because my man might be, the type of naked guy. You know what I mean? He just wants to walk around the house and lay on the couch naked. You just can't pop up over my house like that. So I agree with Cynthia. She was very upset about that, as she should be. Don't pop up over nobody's house. I don't care how close we are. I already told my family, when I get married, you just can't come up over my house like that because I don't know what me and my man gonna be doing. So y'all just can't be popping up. You're not getting a key. That is not happening. Don't show up over my house unannounced, because if I don't answer the door, don't call me rude. You are being disrespectful by showing up. Cynthia lets Kenya know that she spoke to Matt, and immediately Kenya's whole demeanor changed. And that's how I knew that Cynthia didn't let Kenya know that she was meeting with Matt. Because normally when they have these, when they do the storyline stuff and they say, oh, I did this, I did that, a lot of times they're not surprised by it because they've already talked about it. But Cynthia did not let Kenya know she was meeting with Matt, because Kenya's face, like, her soul drained from her body, because in her mind, she's just like, wait a minute, well, what did he say? What did y'all discuss? Because, they got a little, scam going on. So Cynthia tells her that she met with Matt, and Cynthia, Kenya is just like physically drained. She can't believe it. She's starting to get upset. And then she's just like, well, what did you say to him? Immediately wants to find out what she said to Matt. And I'm just like, why is that the first thing you want to know when your friend tells you that she met with your abuser? Why is the first thing that you say to her, what did he say to you? Ah! I see you, Satan. Cynthia's being really vague with her answer to Kenya, and Kenya just wants to know what she said. And then she goes, well, did you defend me? And then Cynthia says, well, I did say that you could be a little dramatic. Right then and there, Queen Victim Kenya popped up, and she was just like, don't say that about me. I don't do those things. If you're going to be a friend, you can't say that about me. And she starts that whining thing that we all know that she does. Like, everybody has their own little quirks. Like, when Phaedra is lying, she just, how I said, like, she acts like she can't see, you know what I mean? Or she gets really, really confused, or she starts to drink, you know what I mean? Or she starts looking for, like, change or paper on the table. It's... typical Phaedra. Go back and watch. Whenever Phaedra is lying, those are the three things she does. She squints, she sips, or she starts looking for stuff. Like, are you looking for the truth, Phaedra? Anyway, when Kenya is caught, her thing is she starts the whining. I'm not! Why would you say that about me? I'm a good person! Wah! She does that all the time, especially when she is put in a corner and she doesn't know how to get out of it. She gets very dramatic and she starts the adult whining thing, and then she runs away. She twirls away, because that's what happened. Cynthia wasn't able to really get a word out, because after she said she met with Matt, Kenya was like, how can I get out of this situation? Because we cannot have this conversation on camera. So she did the whole whining thing. Wah, wah, wah. Woe is me. And she took off running and twirled out of the way, and she got her two little dogs, and that was the end of that mess. That's the longest I'm ever going to spend on Kenya and Matt ever again. Remember before I said I was done with them, but I just had to break this down. Some things that I observed. Tell me what you thought in the comment section. Porsha stops by Shamia's place to give her her gift that she was going to give her at her engagement party, but she decided not to go because Kandi threw it. And she gets there, and Shamia has a really nice house. Who is this guy that she's marrying? Are we gonna get some tea on him, Bravo? I feel like we are. Anyway, she stops by and she gives her gift, and Shamia's just like, well, thank you for the gift, but we need to talk, because I want to know, like, why you didn't come to my engagement party. Like, that's a really big deal. Now, before I said I can understand why Porsha didn't go. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? I totally understand it, and I totally understand Shamia. The problem is, it's so hard being stuck between feuding friends. I have been there, and you have to pick a side at some point, because they're both going to get mad, or you're just going to eventually lose both friends, and then they're going to become friends because they have a common, a common denominator, and it's hating you. So it's just such a hard place to be in, because I understand, Shamia, it's like, it's my engagement party. You need to put that aside and not worry about the issues you have with somebody else. You're coming to celebrate me. I get it. I totally agree with her. I get it. But then Porsha is just like, I don't want to be in a situation or around somebody that irks my soul. And if I have to sacrifice your engagement party, fine. I'll come by and I'll do something with you later. I was in a situation like that, and I actually ended up losing the friend, because she was friends with people that made me nauseous. Like, I couldn't stand her clique of people, and they were also new friends. Like, we had been friends prior, and then she, like, got these new friends with, like, a new job and things like that, and that's fine. But it just wasn't me. Like, this new clique of people just wasn't me, and she wanted me to morph and meld into this group, and I'm just like, oh, hell to the no. I just couldn't do that. So anyway, she had this engagement party, and I didn't feel like going. because I don't like those people. I didn't like the person who threw it. I didn't like the people. I checked you. Are you like me? Because I check guest lists of events before I go to anything. I checked the guest list. I didn't like the people who were going to be there. And I didn't feel like faking the funk for 4 hours. So I was just like, how about, I didn't go. And I reached out and I was like, can we just go to lunch or something like that? We ended up going to lunch and she was just still really upset that I didn't go to the party. And I was just like, well, if you're mad about that, can I have my gift? I didn't say it. I let her keep the gift. You know what I mean? But I'm thinking in the back of my mind, like, I invited you to lunch, paid for the lunch, and gave you the present, and you're going to sit here and scold me because I didn't come to that party with those dreadful people? So I understand both sides. I get it, but it's like, you either going to have to take a side or lose friends. Shamia just starts to tell Porsha that Phaedra isn't really her best friend, and then Porsha is talking about how Phaedra is her best friend and Shamia is her best friend, and she's stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I'm just like, pause. When did you and Phaedra become best friends? I realized they got close, but I'm like, best friends? These girls move middle school level with friendships, and I'm just like, you guys are well into your 30s, 40s, and I think aren't they in their 50s? A few of them in their 50s. It's just so weird to me how quickly they are just like, this is my best friend. This is my best friend. As adults, I didn't know we moved that fast with friendships. So while Shamia is telling Porsha that Phaedra is not a really good friend, we get these flashbacks from the shady Bravo editors of Phaedra talking about how, basically calling Porsha down about, I think she said, small head, small brain, or something like that. And I'm like, oh, Phaedra. Oh, I think you might get, I think they might slay you at this reunion. But, you the queen of reads, so I know you'll be ready. But I was just like, oh, that hurt me. You know what I mean? And I'm someone who's been fighting with Phaedra for Phaedra in the comment section. You know what I mean? So when she does stuff like this, I'm just like, ooh, this is not going to go well for you. Also, Shamia, if Phaedra was saying all these things about Porsha and you knew it, why are you just now saying it? I just feel like Shamia and Porsha are both wrong in this friendship. Porsha is wrong for sitting there while her best friend is getting talked about by another person who she considers her best friend. I just feel like if you have a longer history with someone, you've been through many trials, I just feel like Porsha and Shamia are probably much better friends than Porsha and Phaedra. So I do agree with Shamia that Porsha should have had her back. But also, Shamia, if you're sitting in conversations, especially conversations with Kandi, and you know things that Phaedra has said about Porsha, why are you saying them now because you're upset? Like, you guys are both in violation. If somebody's talking about your best friend, the minute you get that tea, you call her, you contact her, you tweet, you text, whatever you got to do, you got to let her know that, hey, that heifer said these things about you. So why is she finding out about it now, a season or so, or 2 seasons later? Y'all both wrong. Violation for the both of you. So I'm not a fan of Kenya's. You already know that. But I will say, the reads that she gives every time for Chateau Sheree is absolutely hilarious. Kenya makes up a new name every time. I think my best one is Chateau Can't Pay. Chateau Can't Pay. What? Kenya! The ladies are all gathering to get ready to go on this glamping trip. Some are meeting up at Sheree's, and then another group of people are meeting up at Kenya's. I don't get it. I don't know why they didn't meet at one location. Anyway, they're both Kenya and Sheree are both putting out food. Was I the only one that was weird too? Maybe it's a Southern thing, but I don't know why they were putting out a spread when they were about to leave. Maybe I'm just hood and northern because, like, I would pack that food up in the truck and take it on the trip. So I just didn't understand why, like, Kenya put out this really beautiful display of food, and then we go over to Sheree's home, and she has, like, this community center set up, and I was just like, oh, no. Kenya's look like a very, like, a nice adult, West Elm setup, and then Sheree is over here with the Boys and Girls Club community center display, and it's not working, Sheree. If you don't have the money, don't floss. You know what I mean? Because you keep on talking about Kenya's home and you and her have this battle, but at the end of the day, she's in there, she's living, whether it's fixed or not. You still got like stickers on your windows and you can't even get inside. With that rec center table, you couldn't have got like a cloth to put. Girl, the last person arrives, all the women get on the shuttle, and I think the last person to arrive was Porsha. And I'm telling you, if you watch Kenya's reaction to both Porsha and Marlo, there is a difference of reaction, but it's the same reaction. When Porsha got on the bus with her sister, Kenya was just like, she gave a visible reaction. But when Marlo got on the bus, she smiled and she held it. I'm telling you, Marlo has some tea on Kenya, because she is the only one that can get Kenya to act right. So the receipts or the tea or whatever you want to call it, the mess that Marlo got on Kenya is monumental. And I think she's going to spill it next week. Because, baby, next week's episode, listen, this review of next week's episode might have to be a two-parter, because that episode looks juicy. While we're on the bus, we get this little shady moment between Marlo and Kandi's friend. I forget that lady's name. The girl that looked like Alicia Keys. They get into a little something because Marlo, and I was on Marlo's side because I felt like what that girl did was, it was shady. You know what I mean? It was uncalled for because they don't even know each other. So Marlo goes, when we get there, because I think Phaedra was talking about all the fun things that they were going to do, and Marlo was just like, and I can do a little thing where you can ask me anything about fashion or about men. Just like offering her fun services. I didn't think anything of it, but Marlo does have an air. So maybe that's how Kandi's friend took, her. I don't know. I guess Kandi's friend felt intimidated by that for some reason, so she had to say something. And she was just like, why are we asking her? And Kenya starts laughing, and she's just like, oh, Marlo, she said, telling you, watch Kenya around Marlo. It's not a game. Give Marlo a peach, because I want to see how Kenya reacts to Marlo for a whole season. She got some tea on her. Anyway, Kenya politely says, jokingly, oh, she said, why do we have to ask you? And got out of Dodge. You see what I'm saying? And then Marlo was just like, oh, because, I just have some vital information about things. Don't you think? Look at my fashion. I know some things. And if you want to give a little session about your skin, you should. I would recommend you do that because you have beautiful skin. Oh, my goodness. Marlo needs a peach, Carlos. Then there's another joking thing. Porsha pulls out her anger management papers that allows her to come on this trip, and everybody's having a cackle with it except for Kenya and Kandi. And I don't know, I get Kenya because at the end of the day, Portia's the only one who put her hands on her. So I don't think that she'll ever forgive Porsha or move on from that. But Kandi was so upset. I just don't understand. I don't understand what's going on with Kandi. I told you what I think it is, but I could be wrong. But it's just their reactions were just so... They were such Debbie Downers because everybody was having a fun time on the trip and just laughing and joking on this shuttle or whatever. And then those two just brought down the energy. And it's like, you don't have to be so draining all the time. And I think that's the problem that a lot of viewers are having with both Kenya and Kandi. They're like soul suckers. Like, they take the joy out of every moment with their attitudes, and we're all over it. So the episode ends there, but honey, it comes back next week and we're on the same bus and Marlo is dropping some tea about Kenya the entire episode. Then she comes for Kandi and the lesbianism. I don't care what I'm doing. I think I have an event too. I might have to reschedule because, girl, that episode is going to be fire and I will be there to review it. So if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next week for probably one of the juiciest episodes of this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Bye, guys.